Welcome to the Disability Channel and Wellbeings Medical Center Wednesday production. We're out here, Aldershot, Burlington. We have a big day as today you're going to be watching Veterans Corner with host Dan Lozon. He has veteran Greg Wing from Veterans and Everyday Heroes. He's bringing his beautiful dog Wilson to the show. This guy's great. We were out there, respectcanada.org, all about supporting veterans, our heroes. So again, Dan's going to be interviewing Greg Wing on Veterans Corner. We're going to give a few Today Show updates, and then we have our Wellbeings Medical Center show with Peggy Shepherd DeGroot. She's going to be interviewing one of her technicians, Andrew. Wonderful. He's a counselor. Going to be talking about his vast platform as he does everything in the community, helping people, all positivity. So we're very excited. Stay tuned. We're going to come back with Dan Lozon and Veterans Corner.
Hello everybody and welcome to the TDC channel, and this is Veterans Corner. I'm your host, Dan Lozon. Today we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Greg Wing, and he is with the Veterans and Everyday Heroes. And we'll be getting back to him very shortly, right after this. Back. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, our guest is Greg Wing. He is a 13-year veteran of the Canadian Forces, where he served as a land weapons tech. Greg served with 2 Service Battalion, 1 RCR, 2 CER, and 22 Wing North Bay. And he deployed twice to Afghanistan with the National Support Element in 2003 and 2006. Yes. Greg then became a trainer and field service representative with General Dynamics in London. I believe that's where it is. Mm-hmm. And after 8 years with General Dynamics, Greg returned to school at the University of Victoria, earning his diploma in public relations. You're a busy man.
I am.
Hi, Greg, and thanks for coming to Veterans Corner.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
What is VA?
VA is Veterans and Everyday Heroes. We are a federally registered not-for-profit organization whose mission is to help veterans and first responders with all their mental and physical wellness challenges. What we do is we raise the funds necessary so that when the system says no, we can say yes. There's a lot of holes in the system, as a lot of us are very well aware. And not everything that is available to help out veterans and first responders is easily accessible. Sometimes the system will say, no, we're not funding that. Sometimes it's a matter of mountains of paperwork that veterans and first responders, especially dealing with mental health issues, get hung up on, and they eventually give up, So what we try to do is that when we get a call from a veteran or first responder saying, I need help with whatever it is, we will come in and we will provide the funding needed to get them that help, whether it's a cup of coffee after a rough shift, all the way up to getting them a service dog like Wilson right here, which runs about $20,000 to $35,000 a dog.
Wow. You mentioned Wilson. Mm-hmm. How did you get Wilson?
Actually, a rather interesting story, because when I first met Andrew Goff is the founder of Veterans and Everyday Heroes. He had his service dog Riggs, and I had a lot of questions about service dogs because I had actually looked into getting a service dog for myself, but I found out that I was going to be on a 2.5 year wait list for another 2.5 year wait list to get a dog. So I basically gave up on trying to get a dog myself.
Now, just before you carry on, is that because of funding, or is that because
There's a number of reasons for it. One is funding, for sure. The other is the high demand and how long it takes to actually train a service dog for someone with PTSD. But talking with Andrew, I said that I was looking for a service dog, but I wasn't quite sure, and I was definitely playing a little bit shy at the time about it.
I can't see that, but go ahead.
I know, it's weird. But what ended up happening is Veterans and Everyday Heroes had actually purchased Wilson ahead of time and was going to be giving them to a foster family who would train the dog up, get them ready for a veteran or first responder we needed. Unfortunately, that foster family had to back out at the last second due to other circumstances. So Andrew asked me, hey, will you foster Wilson? And I'm like, okay, I'll foster him. I'll do what I have to do to make sure that we get a good dog for a veteran or first responder that needs it. Well, after a couple weeks with me, Andrew came to me and he's like, he's your dog if you want him. And I'm like, I will definitely take him. Wow. Which has worked out great. So I've had Wilson since he was about 7 weeks old, and we've been working with the Phoenix Canine Initiative, which is the school that we go to, and we've been busy training him up to be a proper service dog for PTSD, and in particular for me.
Oh, good for you. How old is Wilson?
Wilson is 2.5 years old.
Pretty big dog.
He is, yep.
And very strong, I might add.
Yes, he's about 80 pounds, but he loves riding on the back of my motorcycle with me.
Oh, really?
Yep. Got him a special carrier, and he jumps on the back, and we go out for rides. He's not too fussy on it at first, but once we get going, he gets
Does he have his
winning
goggles?
space. He has his goggles, and he has his ear protectors and
Yes,
all that stuff.
yeah.
It's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier your organization isn't just for veterans.
No.
It's for police,
Mm-hmm.
EMS,
Yep.
firefighters,
Yes.
practically anyone who has to deal with people, saving people, so on and so forth.
Yes.
And of course our police and our EMS and our firefighters are always doing this. Yeah, my hat goes off to them for
And
really
I do want to expand on that a little bit, because a lot of people, they look at the term first responders and they think police, fire, paramedics.
Yeah.
We really expand that out. We bring in the PSWs, the nurses, the doctors, as well as dispatchers, because I didn't realize until I became part of VA how much trauma dispatchers actually go through. They're going to hear people at their absolute worst moments over the phone, and then when they, dispatch the police, the fire, the paramedics, and stuff like that, that's when their job is done. But the problem is they get no closure on what it is happening. And I have a good buddy who was a dispatcher, and unfortunately, he's got a service dog as well, which is an amazing service dog. And we've had lots of many conversations about dispatchers.
How long does it take to train a service dog?
The training service dog properly is about 2.5 years. So the first year is basically just training them to be a really good dog, right? Like the dog you'd like to have for yourself, sit, stay, go pee here, and stuff like that. But then the following year, that's when they start working on actual service dog techniques, we'll say, getting them to provide deep pressure therapy, providing stuff like dream interruption. So if you're someone that has nightmares at night and stuff like that, the dog will sense you're having a nightmare and come and wake you up to be like, hey, you don't need to be dreaming about that right now. So there's so many things that these dogs do that are amazing. But then you have another 6 months after that, approximately, and it all depends on how you go about doing the training. So this is just a general idea, but the 6 months after is normally like the handler training, right? So you might come in as someone who's needing a dog, and for 6 months, that's when you're going to get a chance to bond with the dog and learn how to actually use your dog as a service dog, as well as the dog's going to learn what they need to do for specifics for you. So for example, if you're someone who's very forgetful, and in particular with forgetting your car keys, they can train the dog at that point in time to fetch your car keys. So you just can be like, keys, and the dog will run out, grab your keys, bring them back to you. So then you can then go and carry on with your day.
Unbelievable. Wow. We'll be right back right after this.
The Disability Channel, showcasing abilities.
And we're back. We're talking to Greg Wing from Veterans and Everyday Heroes, and about his dog Wilson, among other things. You said it takes about 2.5 years to train a dog, and that the owner comes in 6 months beforehand to train with the dog?
Yes, there's a number of different methods that they go about doing. Sometimes the new handler will get the dog as the dog's just about done, and then there's other training ways, kind of like what I'm doing with Wilson, where you get them right from a very young age, and you do all the training together. There's definitely pros and cons to both aspects. Like for myself, with getting Wilson as young as he was, we've been able to bond extremely well. But the problem with it, with the training, is the training's definitely taking a little bit longer, because with my PTSD and stuff like this, I'm not able to stay on top of the training all the time.
Right.
So his training's a little bit slower, whereas if it was, we got a dog from an organization that actually does all the full training before the handler comes in, well then they have the time and the dedication to do all that.
Right. Does Wilson sense when you're feeling down, or for instance, if you're getting angry, or what does he do?
Wilson, he tends to go and he'll provide a little bit of deep pressure therapy for me. I have a breakfast I normally do every Wednesday morning with a bunch of other veterans and first responders. And one of the things that he'll do is he'll indicate to me, time to go, let's leave, type thing. And when he was first doing it, I thought he was just being a puppy going, I'm bored, let's leave, and
but you were getting involved with...
Yeah, I was getting a little bit triggered, I was getting worked up, a little bit anxious, because there was just so much commotion going on in the restaurant. And it actually wasn't until my buddy's dog came up and laid on me to be like, hey bud, relax. And I was like, oh, now I know what Wilson's trying to do.
So I know sometimes when I go back and meet with other fellow soldiers that I served with, I get anxious, and I start getting, I would say, flashbacks on things that happened when we were serving, and then my mood changes altogether, and I have to leave. I have to leave, and people don't understand that.
No.
Veterans and those who deal with people like the police and EMS and firefighters, they understand it. Veterans understand it, and service dogs understand it.
Absolutely. Service dogs are just absolutely amazing. And honestly, one of the things that I would really like to see happen is getting therapy dogs, because service dogs, they're meant for one person, whereas therapy dogs are meant for a group of people. But I'd love to get therapy dogs into every single police station, every fire station, every EMS station, stuff like that, because as I'm sure you're well aware, you know, we don't tend to talk when a bad call has happened.
Yeah, we don't
Right.
talk at all.
No, exactly. But if that fire truck comes in and everybody's jumping off the truck there, and you know the chief is sitting there watching everybody come back from this call, and the dog watches everybody come back after the call, and all of a sudden, wait a second, why is Greg being a little weird? The dog's going to go up to
Right.
me and
That's
be
how
like, hey,
others will know, hey, there's something
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's,
you know, and I think it'd be good, you know, because as we all know, a lot of veterans and first responders, very much that alpha type personality where no, I'm good, I'm going to soldier on and carry on and stuff like this.
suck back and reload.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you know, so, but the dog, they're going to call you out on it every time, you
That's
know,
great.
and so I think it'd be good because then we can get those conversations happening, we can get that situation that was disturbing on that call dealt with right away.
You know, you were mentioning that the alpha ego. Soldiers, I find, because I deal with soldiers, feel weak, or they're trained to
Yes.
feel weak
Yeah,
if they ask for help,
absolutely.
or if they need help. It's just, I think the big phrase was, it's a sign of weakness.
Yes, yeah.
And that something that has to be phased out. I don't know if it's happening now or.
I think there's a bit of it happening now. There's definitely more understanding within the military that hey, we're breaking people.
Yeah.
You know, so they do understand it. But just like the rest of the system, it's still so young in the infancy of learning how to properly deal with people that are suffering from a traumatic event.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break, but we'll be right back. And we're back. I have a few more questions for you. In order to raise money, do you have events that go on throughout the year?
Yeah, typically what we do is we try to join in with every possible event that's out there. We have a little booth that we set up that does awareness, as well as we have a whole lot of merchandise, like the shirt I'm wearing, that we go and we sell, right? And we're always looking to find more ways to sell other stuff. But we also have two major events that we do a year. One is our Evening of Heroes, which is a gala style event, except instead of the traditional gala where you get a bunch of speakers get up and just randomly talk all night long and you're bored out of your mind, we try to have it more of a party. This year it's actually going to be on Valentine's Day in Etobicoke at the Old Mill Hotel and Spa, and we're going to have a nice dinner, dance, charity casino, as well as silent auction items and stuff like that. And the reason I chose Valentine's Day is I know veterans and first responders don't plan for anything outside of work, especially Valentine's Day. So I'm going to plan Valentine's Day for everybody.
That's a good choice.
So we have that, and then we have our Day of Heroes event, which we do, which is a huge event that, you know, brings everybody in, and we try to showcase veterans and first responders, like the jobs that they do as well as what they're doing now. So we have vendor booths that are owned by veterans and first responders. You know, we specifically set those up, as well as we bring in the different booths from all the other organizations that are out there. Because I know when I was first looking for help, trying to find help, the first 3 pages were all Veterans Affairs. Well, if you don't really feel like you've been adequately supported by Veterans Affairs, why are you going to page 4 to get to you looking for help? So I'm looking at this as like a live Google search by bringing in all the other groups. So like Wounded Warriors, Boots on the Ground, all those other organizations, I'm bringing them all in so any veteran or first responder that's there can see them in person.
And know that there's other organizations out there that will actually help them if Veterans Affairs can't.
Absolutely. Yes, exactly. That's the big thing, because we're all about helping each other out, and it does take all these different organizations to make sure that everybody is adequately supported. But as I said, it's a huge event, and this year it's going to be July 18th up at the Orangeville Fairgrounds. We're taking it over completely. I've got the Skyhawks jumping in. I've got the RCMP musical ride. The Golden Helmets are going to send part of the team over to do some stuff. The Highway Heathens motorcycle stunt team, they're going to be there doing all the stuff that you're not supposed to do on a motorcycle in the parking lot. We're looking at hopefully getting some monster trucks and an FMX show. I've got bouncy castles for kids of all ages, from the small people up to us, because I think we should be able to play on bouncy castles as well. More live demonstrations from other military organizations, as well as the other first responder organizations. I've talked to the OPP. Apparently they're going to bring in their canine unit, and I guess I'm getting bit by a dog that day, so that'll be fun.
Better hide Wilson.
Yeah. And then we also have our Heroes Ride, which is a motorcycle poker run happening as well. As I said, we have all the vendors, and we even have an area for civilian vendors that they want to set up their booths and stuff like that. And then in the evening, we're looking to have a pretty decent concert as well.
Wow.
So it's going to be a huge day.
An awful lot going on, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. How can someone support the organization and give donations and find out where all the events are going on? I'm sure there's quite a number of veterans out there, and police and EMS and firefighters that want to know where this is happening. How do they find out?
Honestly, our website is a great spot to go to. So www.v-eh.ca is a great place to get all the information. But you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and even TikTok. It's not just for 12-year-olds wanting to dance anymore. You know, so we're all over the place, always pushing out as much information as we possibly can, and stuff like that. Donations, right on the website, there's a spot that you can donate, you can sponsor the different events if that's what you'd like to do. Matter of fact, for the 2 events that we have, there's sponsorship packages up online. You can also just email us and ask us. You know, the information for that's on the website. And you know, same with donations. And one of the other big things is buy some of our merch. And you know,
I've seen some of your merch. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And the swag.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got a lot of pretty cool stuff, with more stuff coming out as well.
If you don't know what the swag is, go on the website.
Yep. And I do want to say that we actually teamed up with a local brewery in our area that wanted to help support us. And so they're actually making 2 beers for us. One is an amber ale, and the other one is a nice lager. And they've got our logo on it, and it's a beautiful can. It really
I know.
is.
I saw them today.
And I'm not gonna lie, not just because we're trying to sell some of this beer, but it is good beer.
I'm gonna get a couple of cases.
Yeah.
Today our guest was Mr. Greg Wing and Wilson. I want to thank you and your organization for helping veterans, police, firefighters, EMS, because sometimes Veteran Affairs just can't help you. And it's nice to know that there's other organizations out there that will.
Yes.
So ladies and gentlemen, look them up and give them some donations. Thank you. I'm Dan Wilson, your host of Veterans Corner. Have a good day.
Perfect. Awesome. That was great. Thanks so much. Appreciate
That
it.
was a great show, guys. Welcome back to the Today Show. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan, and sitting beside me is my co-host for the Wellbeings Medical Center show, Peggy Shepherd-DeGroot. This is very exciting now, Peg. Now tell us who's on the show today.
We have one of our specialized technicians for the deep repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation machines, better known as DRTMS, and it's Andrew Sangster. And he's an amazing man who really helps to get people well.
And you said he's a technician, is he?
He's a technician, but he's more than a technician. He also has the ability to talk to people as he's a Canadian certified counselor.
So tell us a little bit more of that before he comes on the show, because we're going to take a quick commercial break in a little bit, but tell us a little bit about his background, his history, and what people can expect to hear.
Well, we do things a little differently at Wellbeings because we recognize that the psychological support is also an integral part of healing. And so beyond just having the TMS sessions, people will also get integrated into those sessions, the opportunity to get some counseling and to work through some of the issues or problems that they've had so that we actually get them well again.
I wanted to touch on something, Peg, because I think this is so commendable for you. Like, we were talking offline about you've been here for 16, 17 years.
17 years in Burlington. We've only been at this location now 10 years.
Okay. And it's all privately funded.
It's funded by OHIP.
Yep.
Or we have some new things now which are not funded by OHIP, unfortunately, but they are either funded by people paying for the services, or they are also funded by insurance.
So I'm a little, because I'm just asking questions because obviously I'm more of a media guy, so this isn't my world, the medicine world. So I'm just learning, and especially with your fantastic location, tell us, is it subsidized? Is it private? Can anybody come here? Is it sort of like in the States where they have private healthcare and then public healthcare? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay,
background.
great. So we have a couple of different areas. We are funded by OHIP, so anybody who has an OHIP card and OHIP pays for those services, then the funding all goes through OHIP.
Okay.
So for instance, on some of our pain treatments, and as well as on our addiction or dependency treatments, those are totally funded by OHIP, except for a few like the TMS, the transcranial magnetic stimulation, or any of the ketamine treatments that we have. Those are not funded by OHIP.
Okay, so you can be an able-bodied person that
Yes.
come in for service that could be funded by OHIP.
Yes?
Disabled person, same kind of scenario, right?
Yes.
A veteran, which is covered by the VA.
Correct.
Now that's great coverage, is it not? The VA covers it?
The VA coverage is really extensive, and both the VA coverage, the Canadian Armed Forces coverage, and the RCMP coverage are virtually 100% for most things if there's been a diagnosis already and the recommendation of whether it's the physician or psychiatrist is saying this will better enhance the life of this person and it's a treatment we recommend, and we are an approved center.
So let me ask you a little bit about this. I'm going to go stateside. So the states, I don't even know what they're doing with their healthcare, how they operate, and who gets help, who doesn't get help. But I know they have a lot of private funding, which means if you're very successful, right, private healthcare, very successful, and you make a really good penny, you can kind of jump the line and go get help.
Mm-hmm.
Is that available here in Canada too?
Yes, it is. There are a number of specialty boutique type medical centers, like
Okay.
for instance, MedPoint, that is recently opening up in Burlington. They started off in London. They have that type of service, and those services that are offered then are not covered by OHIP, but people are very happy to pay for them because it does help them to get into a queue quicker and to make sure that they then would pay for services.
And could Wellbeings be utilized as a spot like that for people who wanted to get in right away?
Well, we have that available because we want to make sure that people who want treatments are getting access to them. So for instance, if we have availability anyway, there's no queue to jump. Because we get people well, like let's say on our addiction side, then spaces are created and opened up, and we still have the opportunity of adding an extra shift to some of the treatments.
I was more touching on, say somebody they go in for diagnosis and they say, well, you have to get an operation on XYZ, but it's not available for 18 months, and that person is extremely wealthy and says, well, can I sort of jump the line and sort of start the process next week? And they went, yeah, sure, here's the number, give this person a call. Is that doable?
So that's not doable at Wellbeings, but we have a number of groups that we work with that have what I would call concierge type services, where, like MedPoint, where they can reach out to them, they can become members of that group, and they will get access to care more quickly.
This is great. Good. That's great information. Again, we're here with the owner of Wellbeings Medical Center Show. Tell us all about her different innovative treatments. Like how many we have? Well, how many treatments do you have, Pat?
There are really 3 on the deep repetitive TMS machines, because we have it for depression, we have it for OCD, and we have it for smoking cessation.
Wow, that's really hits home, eh? Like
it really does hit home. On the flip side of that, on our IV ketamine program, we have it for ketamine and alcohol use disorder, and we have the licensed protocols in Ontario out of the UK for that, and it's wonderful. And then we also have for people who just have psychiatric diagnosis, IV ketamine as well for depression.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys also treat people, say if someone's just, I don't know, they're feeling a little down, they're maybe feeling a little lonely, they maybe feel like they've been hit hard time and time, and they're just sort of like, I need some support, I need to talk to somebody, I just need something. Do you guys offer that too?
We can. We need a referral for any of those types of services. Anything on the addiction or dependency side, people can self-refer. So you don't even have to ask your family doctor. You can just give us a call and we will get you an appointment. But on the pain or psychiatric side, we need to have a referral. And we have referral forms on our website at www.wellbeings.ca, and people can have their family doctors or even their own psychiatrist reach out. Because one of the other programs we have is called Spravato, and it is a nasal spray of ketamine, sponsored by the Janssen Journey people, Johnson & Johnson. And within that program, it may be that you have your own psychiatrist, but that they don't have room to offer this treatment because the person's in a room for about 2.5 hours. And so that is a service that we can offer if someone's referring to us.
And I wanted to ask you one more question. This is personal because my mom right now is in the hospital. So I'm pretty much at the hospital every day with her. And I have to say, they just do amazing work there, right? But it is packed. It is just packed night and day. And I just thought, as I was in the waiting room, could this be an offshoot because they're so overloaded at the hospital for people to get treatment here?
Oh, absolutely. And we have referrals from the emergency department. So if somebody shows up there and they have something that the Joseph Brand, for instance, Joseph Brand Hospital or St. Joe's in Hamilton or any of the hospitals, Hamilton Health Sciences, they know about us, and we want to make sure that we're trying to keep people out of the emergency department because that's a very expensive place to be treated. So if you've got pain or opioid use disorder or alcohol use disorder or mental health issues that don't require you to be put into a residency there, then we need to get you into a community system like ours at Wellbeings so that we can treat you and have continuous care, not episodic care that you get if you go to the emergency every Friday night.
And are the hospitals into that?
Oh yes.
Oh, they are?
Absolutely. We've been receiving those kinds of referrals for decades.
Wow. And I wonder, if there could be a same kind of scenario for a VA hospital. Do we have VA hospitals here like they do in the States?
We don't have them like they do in the States, no.
Yeah.
That's certainly a differentiation between Canada and the
Yeah.
US, but we certainly have, there are VA accommodations in hospitals, like British Columbia, I know has an amazing one.
They do.
They do.
Does Toronto have one that you know of or you're aware of?
I am not aware
I
of
don't
one
think
in
they do because
Toronto.
I've never crossed paths with.
No.
Yeah, it's funny because they do have VA hospitals in the U.S. Like tons.
They have lots of them in the
Yeah,
US.
we don't have anything here, eh?
It's very, no, we do have some,
But
they're few and far between, and they may not be in your local community. And of course, when people are suffering, let's say from mental health disorders, they probably want to stick pretty close to home in most cases. And so they're not willing to go and travel 2 or 3 hours. That can be really onerous.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so why don't we take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with our guest.
Andrew Sangster.
Excellent. You're watching Wellbeings Medical Center Show. I'm Jay Stoyan and Peggy Shepard DeGroot. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens with the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So,
You say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me, and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special, I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like
First
that?
time ever,
All
baby.
right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
Welcome back to Wellbeings Medical Center Show. Again, we're here with Peggy Shepard, our co-host, and we have a special guest. Peggy, introduce our guest today.
We have one of the people who has helped us tremendously for about 4 years now.
Yeah, at least.
Andrew Sangster has become an integral part of helping people in the Burlington community, and I'm thrilled with him because he really has at the center of his being the desire to get people well, and that's really integral in everything. And he has also a unique ability to do that, whether it's by talking to somebody and getting them motivated to get up out of the chair and go out for a walk, or doing various activities and to be thinking about certain things and journaling and doing all kinds of things. Andrew truly has a gift. So, Andrew, tell us how you got to be doing what you're doing here.
Oh, where to begin? Well, I've been working, I started my work in addiction, so that is where I started my work. I've been working with this clinic, I've been working with hospitals, I've been working with community-based models, working in shelters. So I've spent the last, probably around 15 years working in addictions, mental health, and trying to, again, get people better, get people moving with their life. So I meet people in a range of different positions where they're at, and
I know that Peggy was saying off here that your title is kind of a counselor, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of like a wide-ranging where you can help a lot of people. So tell us the different areas that you help people in, say, since you're a counselor. I feel that'd be good.
So it's obviously evolved over the years from working with people and working with parents, working with youth, working with again a big range of different people coming from a whole range of different backgrounds. So I've adapted my approach based on where I'm kind of at and what the person needs. That's what I really try to do. But the counseling roles, it's very broad. Yeah, I will do, a lot of it now is much more pro-health based. So it's getting people just up, like Peggy was kind of saying. This might be building a bit of a morning routine. This might be getting you back into exercising. This might be getting you into meditating or doing some brain exercises. So again, it's trying to build in protocols for people so they can function at the highest level they can possibly function at. That's usually my goal with people, but I'll meet them where they're at in their journey.
I bet you it's really, like, we could probably do a mini series since COVID for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably just flipped 100%
Totally.
when it comes to mental health and in dealing with people's issues.
Yeah.
Could you just sort of touch on that a little bit, Andrew? Because I'm sure you go on and on about
Yeah, we can go on for a while, and I think a lot of that's quite obvious to most people. But yeah, no, I think COVID obviously exacerbated a lot of issues that were already possibly occurring already for a lot of people. That being said, I always do highlight there are some people that COVID happened and they used it as a kickstart to change their life.
Give us an example, could you?
I've just seen, obviously, for a lot of people, when COVID happened, their life became, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of isolation, there was a lot of these factors which we generally see in the mental health and addiction community. And again, for most people, this would have exacerbated issues and brought people that maybe weren't in an acute stage of a problem. It maybe led them into it. But there were also, and I like to highlight those people, there were some people that were like, oh, everybody's isolated now, everybody's kind of locked up, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to make change. So it wasn't 100% kind of thing, but I do like to highlight those people that not everybody struggled quite as much. But no, definitely when you're kind of locked up and you're scared, it's going to be tough.
For myself, and I'm sure then Peggy, you can jump in. For myself, there was two things I did during COVID. Once was we went on, me and my better half, we went on concert drives every day. We went in the car every day for an hour a day and just drove and listened, just to get out. Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Right? Number two is I learned how to play guitar.
So,
I wanted always to learn how to play guitar, and my daughter said, Dad, take my car. I bought her a pink guitar when she was 10 years old. And she goes, I don't play anymore. Take my guitar, and if you like it, then go buy a guitar. And I played it for a week, and I went to Long McQuaid, and I played every day for the last 4 years.
Sweet.
You go ahead, Peg, you jump in now.
Well, I think things like that bring you joy and happiness are very important as well, because I recognize what an integral part music is in my life. And if I'm feeling a little down, and no one's in the house, I'm happy to go to the piano and play. I find that always uplifts me, and
I didn't know you played piano.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
I played a bit of piano.
I didn't say I played well.
And how about you, Andrew? Because everybody looks towards you for support and help. How do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, it's a good question. I really do try to practice what I preach. The vast majority of techniques, protocols, they're things that I'm doing myself. And they didn't happen overnight. So I always highlight to people, I did not just wake up one day and have great self-discipline. This happened in baby steps. So again, generally exercise would be right near the top for me. I know that, and for my clients, this is one of the most beneficial things I've seen, is people, and again, we can use all of these different techniques, but to get people engaging their body,
Exercise.
some sort of resistance training, some sort of cardio, even just getting up and doing some stretching in the morning. Again, we can start very small, consistency over duration and intensity to start, but that would be a big thing for me. Meditation's a big thing, prayer's a big thing, being around my family is
Those are
massive.
great talking points.
These are generally the things, and again, these aren't like, this is not the first time you've heard these things. It's not like I came up with these. This is pretty basic, but again, someone's getting back to the basics is not easy.
So if someone is struggling right now and watching, what would you recommend they do? Because some people just don't know what to do. What do I do? What would be the first step that you would recommend?
Again, bringing somebody on board, so giving a clinic or something like this a call, we can help build a bit of a template for you. So that would be helpful. But where to start? Again, I love helping people build these plans, but what that generally looks like is little micro changes. So this could be, again, making your bed in the morning. This might be, a teeth brushing exercise. It could be so many different things. A lot of people, I get them waking up and maybe, I said it earlier, but something like a stretching routine.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up and do something different, and it will lay out a bit of a different template for your day. If that's not what unless that was what you were already doing.
Yeah.
But if it's something different, then at least after you finish that activity, your brain will literally not totally know what's coming next. And that could be a very valuable thing if you're in some rigid patterns. So again, it's not always, we don't always have to do insanely transformative things. Sometimes it's as simple as wake up, do this new stretching routine. Wake up, do this new meditation. And it doesn't mean that that's going to transform your entire life, but it might create a bit of an opening for future changes. And from those little changes, we can stack upon those. So maybe you're doing 5 push-ups in the morning. Well, we can turn that into 7. We can turn that into 10. And
that's
then,
great.
yeah,
I
so
really appreciate that.
go
Peg,
from there.
want a couple more questions? Or?
I know that one of the things we often do with our patients or our clients is to have breathing exercises as well.
Totally.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed with something, then take a moment, sit there relaxed, and just taking big deep breaths, and we teach you how to do that properly.
Yeah.
Then in 2 minutes, your body gets the response of, it's okay,
Yeah.
I'm relaxed now. So there's lots of simple things that once they're undertaken make a huge difference.
And practicing them is key, right?
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
waiting till you're kind of freaking out. It really is trying to practice.
That's a
these
good
things.
point. Don't wait till you're freaked
Yeah,
out.
because sometimes I'll teach a technique and it's like the client will try it while they're in a panic attack or while things have escalated and they're kind
That's
of
so
hyper
true.
around.
They don't try it until they need it.
Yes, and then it will be a skill that you're kind of pulling up for the first time. So I say, practice that skill. Practice it so when you do need it, it's a little more second nature. And these breathing techniques don't take years. You don't need to go sit on a mountain with your eyes closed. You can there's a couple little techniques, something like a physiological sigh, a double inhale with a very slow exhale. This can alter the way you are kind of experiencing things. And you'll notice a difference right away.
Well, we really appreciate being on the show today, Andrew. If
Yeah.
people want to find out more information about you or about the clinic, where could they go?
I think the best spot right now would be to call the clinic. So to call Wellbeings Clinic, and that would be the best way to get a hold of me at the moment. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, Peggy, any more final questions before we take a break?
No, I just want to thank Andrew and all the people that really play a key role in making sure that we can keep people healthy and on track. So we have a great group,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we really do look forward to having Wellbeings produced from this medical clinic.
That's great. Again, you're watching Wellbeings here on Wednesday out on Plains Road in Aldershot / Burlington. You're watching the Today Show. We're going to come back with a couple quick notes, and then we'll see you next week. Stay tuned. I'm Jay Stoyan.
In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place. And in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt on, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved. And now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Welcome back. What a day was out here in Aldershot, Burlington, Wellbeings Medical Center. 2 shows. We had Veterans Corner interviewing 2 heroes, Dan Lozon, our host, and our guest Greg Wing. Greg is from the Veterans and Everyday Heroes. He was here with his beautiful dog Wilson. Very informative. They have 2 wonderful events coming up. We're going to be teaming up, promoting these guys, getting as many veterans into the clinic, getting them healthy as possible and getting them working. Our second show, we had the Wellbeings Medical Center show with our host, Peggy Shepherd the Group. She interviewed one of her technicians, Andrew. He's a counselor. He's got a vast platform helping people in the community. So it's a wonderful day, again, all about showcasing positivity, information, support, helping the community, helping our heroes, veterans, helping persons with disabilities, and helping able-bodied people. Also, we've added an added twist that we're also here, since this is a private clinic, we can help anybody. So if you're suffering out there, if you're a celebrity, if you're an athlete, if you're an actor, and you want to keep it on a down low, and maybe you have a family member who needs help or yourself needs help, please, we would love to help you here at the Disability Channel and Wellbeings out here in Burlington, Ontario. Before we go, I just want to give a few updates. Do check out our website, as we're going to be updating our website. I do want to thank On Mark TV in the United States, attached to the Holyfield family, as we're going to be spreading our positive content right across the United States. So very excited. On Mark TV, I want to give a big shout out to Rich Prince and those guys. We're going to be doing some fantastic things next spring for the community based on racism and mental health. I want to give a big shout out to Leggett Kia Motors. They're wonderful supporters of the channel. Just so many good things. Check out our TDC Foundation. We're going to have some updates soon. And we're having Burlington Mayor Marion Mead. She's going to be on the show in a couple weeks. So again, you're watching the Today Show with inserts. Every new week we have Veterans Corner, we have Wild Child Records, we have Press Box, we have the Medical Show. Medical Show is actually is weekly, so it's all about helping people. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching the Disability Channel, sponsored by Wellbeings Medical Center. We'll see you next time. How was that? Yeah. Good? Okay. So you have